Oh, hi. I'm Steve from Refresh, and you are you. And you're joining us on our new journey where we employ our micro-cementing skills to a whole new medium. Furniture, or little side tables. We're showing you how to micro-cement a side table and make furniture out of it. No, it already is furniture. It still is furniture, but now it's more trendy, cooler looking furniture that you might actually want in your home. So grab your biggest cup and drink this in, because here we go. If you've taken a trip to a furniture store recently, you've probably noticed that cement is in. A lot of the things that used to be wood or metal are, well, now they're stone. And whether they start as stone or whether they're covered in stone, well, we don't know the answer to that. But we do know that you can cover basically anything that you buy with stone, with Microcement specifically. And this is a Microcement product from Smartcrete. It makes it really easy and DIY friendly to microcement basically anything. So as you can see here, we have a metal version and a plastic version, and the process is going to be the same for each one. You're going to start with a scuff sand, and then you're going to hit it with the primer. This primer makes it so that the first coat, or the smart base coat of the microcement, will adhere and bond to the table. And that's very important, because if it doesn't bond to the table, then all of this will be for naught. There's no reason to do it if it's not going to last. So once the primer coat has dried sufficiently, you're gonna hit it with a coat of the base coat. Now this is the rougher, more cementitious feeling cement product that comes in this kit. Now you're gonna apply several coats of this base to the product, and you basically just wanna make sure that you cover the entire thing. But how you apply it and how you cover the table, well, that's a little bit subjective. We started with these cardboard pieces, essentially, that were allowing us to curve around the base of both of the tables.
Not the same.
But what we quickly realized is that it wasn't equally effective on both tables. The metal one required a different method.
Happy now.
And that is what led us to the discovery that you can actually apply this product with a brush, and it makes life a lot easier and actually leaves quite a cool finish if that's what you're into. Remember, we were learning as we go.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.
Another added bonus of using a brush for this technique is that once the cement sets up a little bit, you can actually go back with a wet brush and knock down some of those bigger ridges.
The brush was key.
And that'll save you later when it comes to sanding, because you're not gonna be sanding giant lumps or ridges.
It's not my favorite part.
Which sucks, trust me. You don't wanna be sanding much during this process, so the more work you do to smooth it out after the coat is applied, the better. But don't worry, there's still plenty of sanding to be done, between every single coat actually. And believe you me, there are a lot of coats. You see, basically what you're doing at this point is establishing as much of a base coat as you need to make sure that as you're sanding it and smoothing it and perfecting it, that you're not going to expose any of the actual table underneath as you're doing so. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that you might actually prefer the look of the base coat when it's all finished. We actually left this white one as the base coat. We didn't apply any of the top coat, which is known as the liso, because we actually prefer the look of the sort of rougher, more exposed aggregate look that this base coat gives you. So here we actually applied our last base coat as though it was going to be our top coat, because it was. So spend a little extra time smoothing and making sure that it looks the way you want it to look when it's all said and done, because this is the last chance you'll get to change the appearance of that microcement. You'll be able to make some minor adjustments with sanding, but trust us when we tell you don't rely on the sanding process to get the finished look that you want. Because remember, this stuff dries incredibly hard, so don't try to make any real visual changes with the sanding. You're basically just sanding to make sure that the product feels smooth and it's not rough or gritty to the touch. You want it to feel nice because it is a piece of furniture. That's what we're making here. But it is supposed to be subjective. It's art. It's microcement. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. But the areas that get a lot of use, like the top, a lot of light and a lot of visual attention, spend a little extra time on that. And if you actually look closely, you'll notice that we use a different technique on the dark color table versus the light one. We spent a lot of time and did a lot of rounds of sanding on the light one to make it look smoother and more perfect, or at least make the brush strokes less visible. Whereas on the dark colored one, we actually left the brush strokes in, and to achieve the smooth top, we used the top coat known as Smart Liso to achieve that sort of more uniform, less chunky, brushstrokey appearance. So after applying one skim coat of the liso on the top and some thorough sanding, we were happy with the appearance of both tables, so it's time to seal it up. And to do that, we used Smartcrete's Smart Varnish, which gives it it's matte, but it does have a little bit of sheen to it. A lot of these sealer products will actually give the tables or anything that you microcement a slight sheen. which is an important thing to note from an aesthetic point of view, but it is also what gives it its durability. So if you forego this step, then you're looking at sort of staining and chipping and ultimately the table's demise. So we highly recommend not just one, but several coats of the varnish or a sealer to make sure that it stays looking the way it's looking right now. And as always, we're sanding between coats of everything we do, every time. It's tedious, it's exhausting, it's monotonous, but that's what's gonna give you that professional look. It's what's gonna make those tables look smooth and feel like tables, not like sandpaper. And when it comes to furniture, that matters, the feel. But what really matters when it comes to little baby tables like this is that they look incredible. They look like what you see on the shelves in stores that you would buy little baby tables like this. And they do, because we micro-cemented them to look just that way. And you can too. That's the whole point of this video. It's doable. It's DIY. So if you want tables that look more like this and less like what they did before, then now you know how. We chose these two tables because we thought they looked cool as they were, but we knew they'd look cooler in micro-cement. But hey, as per usual, you guys do you. We'll be there to show you how to do you.
Number one. I'm number one. This is number one. No, that is number one. This is number two. Have another drink.